get myself unmuted and camera on and get this kicked off. We know everyone is busy, so we want to zoom through this. Welcome to the 1QR in Real Estate webinar, where we're hopefully giving you ideas in understanding how QR code marketing is really revolutionizing the way people are outreaching, getting leads, selling homes faster. So Kathy, it's fun to be going through this. I know my cursor is going to show up on the screen. We've got multiple screens here working at one time and just making sure through technology we don't mess anything up.
Absolutely. We don't want to mess anything up. We're just going to have a little bit of fun this morning.
A little bit of fun. So introductions. As you had just seen who came on screen, that's Kathy Inman. She is our Executive Vice President over here at 1QR. She does everything for us. A lot of the content that's been created that you'll see through the webinar, as well as your help videos, how-to different types of things that we have available to you are done with her expert mind and expertise in our platforms. And I'm Guy Toole. I am the co-founder of 1QR. I've had the joy of watching 1QR come to life over the years from an conception to implementation, and seeing it come into play and making a huge difference, which is amazing, to individuals who have implemented this, not only in real estate, but in other professions. It's just fun to see the progression of what we've done with this. So Kathy, I'm going to get into it. As you can see on our first slide, we're talking about where should QR codes be implemented. We're just trying to give you ideas and how they can support you in the elements we were talking about just a second ago: getting more leads, more eyeballs, maximizing your marketing. We want to instantly connect with people who potentially are driving through, doing some home shopping for themselves, and giving them a way to view the home without having to take their phones out to call or text or email, because we know they don't do that. We
100%.
We know that just the nature of people have turned more into, let's get the information on our phone and let's make a decision from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we talk about this all the time, right? You see this sign in the front yard, and I think it's very old school of people to assume that someone's going to stop or maybe go see if there's a flyer. I mean, they're just not going to get out of their car, and they're not going to, you said, dial a number probably, right? The buyer has changed, and they want immediate information. They want immediate access. And to your point, you talk about it all the time. Do you want them to go to some random website looking for it and make some assumptions when they're scrolling the web, or do you want them to go straight to you?
There's so much to that, Kathy. Driving through neighborhoods, my wife, she's a realtor, so I'll add that in. I went to one of her broker opens a few weeks ago, and it's a really, really nice neighborhood on a TPC golf course. Lots of homes are being built, and there's homes that people have purchased over the last couple of years, and now some of them are coming back on the market. And you're seeing the brokerage signs out front and sign writers trying to draw people in as, you know, here's my potential next step up in purchasing a home.
Mm-hmm.
And we're at times making it more difficult than we think. I talk about it quite often. And it happens in real estate. It's a great community of people, but a lot of us tend to do the same things we've always done, market the same way we've always done it. And when asking questions, you know, can you tell me why you do a brochure or why you do a flyer? And, you know, you get the answered that, yeah, it gives people the information of the home. There's only so much information that can be provided to that person from a piece of paper or a brochure or flyer or trifold, whatever it is that might be produced for the marketing of the home. The same thing goes for the signs. In driving around this neighborhood, I'm seeing sign writers and I'm seeing people's names and phone numbers, maybe their website, maybe even their photo is on that sign writer. And it got me to thinking, how can I get someone who potentially is driving around looking to buy a home to interact with that home?
Mhm.
And we all know the lovely search platform within real estate is, some people like it, majority dislike it, is the Zillow platform. And when people go around and they're looking in the community and there's no way for them to instantly engage, they're going to turn to searching. And, in the Zillow platform, you can circle the area you're at, and here's all the homes for that are listed in that area. They're in that Zillow ecosystem. They're
Mhm.
outside of your ecosystem where you control the narrative. And we just want to emphasize that that's a huge value add to you, is to being able to provide the correct information, because we know that pricing can be 30 up to 30% one way or the other off, and being able to constantly have the most up-to-date information. And whether that scan is going to be booking a showing, it could potentially be the virtual tour, the photos, anything additional that they wouldn't be able to get from a flyer or a brochure or a sign, is the value that we want to be able to provide to you. You want to maximize your exposure in marketing of that property. You sit down in your listing appointments and say, this is what we're doing in marketing. And a lot of times they just want to get as much conception, as many eyeballs as possible on what you're doing in marketing. This is that leverage. This is that old technology brought back to a new way of getting the information out there. Dynamic.
Absolutely. Well, and think about it. People talk today so much about, automations. You want everything to be automatic. You want it to be instant because that's what everybody wants, is instant gratification, right? This is the easiest automation you can put together. And this, it's going to automatically take you to this. Right? I just think of, all of our friends and the people that we know that have got one QR, all the realtors that we've had a chance to meet or come across. And the fact that they can use the information that they're getting from their QR codes, they're using that, to show the home buyer, this is how many eyeballs have scanned this. They're scanning it. We have a friend here in Texas who she's, shows her buyers the information from the QR code scans. And she's like, this was scanned overnight several times. So this is working for you 24/7 outside the house.
Sometimes buyers want more than price.
Yeah.
They want more insight. They want to see what this home offers, this community offers, and you're able to be the one that's working smarter, which makes it easier for them to receive the information that they're looking for. Which I don't know about you, but if it's easy to work with someone, you'll work with them over and over again. And if you're the one that's offering that, you're going to get more leads, you're going to get more buyers, probably more listings, because
Mhm.
you just have made it, the process, so much simpler for someone to get that information. The dynamic aspect, which we haven't even mentioned, is one of the largest things about the one QR platform. There's two different types of QR codes. There's a static, which is being utilized by majority of people. I've printed a brochure, I put a QR code on it in afterthought. What happens if the price changes? Which we're seeing a lot of, price reductions happening right now in the market. Being able to say, you know what, maybe we don't need to put the price on this brochure. We can say scan the QR code for the listed price. And you can control that. If you happen to do, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, a price reduction after talking with your seller, that QR code is going to point to the correct information, and you get to control that. That's something you don't get to do dynamically. Being able to also say, here's the virtual tour, what type of scans are we getting? A few, a lot. This is the perfect destination if there's a lot. If there's just a few, switch it over to maybe your website with all of your listings that they can then select through, but then it's easy for them to find that specific location and learn everything about it, the community, the schools, the amenities. That's what a lot of people are looking for. We just know the nature of people, and we've done it for years, Kathy. We're certain on how people consume information.
Yep.
The scan of a QR code is your quickest way for them to get the correct information. Some of the fun things happening in a lot of this is visualize to yourself. If I were to put my QR code on my signs and brochures, what is my expectation? Where am I wanting them to go? I live in a beautiful state of Colorado. We experience over 300 days of sunshine, but we get our snow, our wind, our heat, and there's open houses happening all the time. And you see those signs that the agent, I've heard of having to go set up signs up to an hour early because of the location of the home. Just trying to get as many people that are out looking into that property. Being able to have a QR code on your sign and mapping it directly to that location is one of the biggest time savers for you, because there's less cost in the amount of signs that you've had to have. There's less time that you've had to go out and put them up for people to follow the dots. Scanning a QR code and mapping directly on their phone gives them the ability to get directly to the house without having to look around. It also, as I've learned over the years, through one QR, you'll get a notification of someone scanning that. And maybe you need to wake up from a nap. Maybe you need to get out of the restroom, because in 3 minutes, someone scanned my QR code to get the directions to the home. Someone's going to be walking through that door.
Yeah, I love live notifications. Can't beat them.
Open houses made easy. You see on this video the interactive ability where you're giving more to someone. I don't have to pay as much in marketing collateral as my the brochures for the home, those trifolds. I've got QR codes throughout that give them the digital version, that then they don't have stacks of paper in their vehicle having to remember what that home looked like if they're out and they're looking at 5, 6 or more homes. Like me, I can't remember a lot of them. So having a digital version of everything where I can just go back into my phone, and that evening we can look and check things off and be like, this is at the top of our list. And it's easy, it's simple for us because we've got access to everything we need. The agent made it so simple for us to get everything. The cool thing when this one was being recorded is being able to expand into virtual staging, or here's a new build that this area could be utilized for a theater or an interior driving range where you can scan the QR code and it can give you the exact specs, what it will look like when they get it completed. As I had said, visualize just different places where you can make it interactive. We've also seen an agent put a QR code up there for games, for kids to be playing while the parents are walking through a home. That a lot of the times draws back to the kids when they're having the family meetings, like which home did you like? Well, it was the one that was fun because that agent let me play games.
That's a great idea, right? We want an easy way to share information. What if you aren't the one who's buying the home, right? What if you're maybe touring it for somebody else who couldn't be in town, or you just happen to see something that you thought, maybe your kids want to move into or your parents want to move into. So just an easy way to get it on your phone and immediately send that information to someone else.
Our past life, Kathy, dealt in what this screen is about. It's about business cards, and we did a digital business card. And we still understand as agents, a lot of times you have to deliver your card if you're showing a home for a buyer or you're at a broker open, you leave your business card so the agent that's hosting has everyone's information or can pass it through to the agent that might be the listing agent. When creating business cards, we need to just think about the simplicity that we're providing to the people we're handing them out to. Mm-hmm. Because we'll tell you there's complexity. They may be the most beautiful card out there with the rounded corners, and it's a thicker stock paper, and the print is raised. Those are amazing. I've got quite a few of them sitting here at my desk. There's friction that we're handing out because people are looking for something digital. They're looking to be able to get that information in their phone so then they can start communicating, whether it's calling, texting, following you on social, doing whatever. Adding a QR code, especially with one QR, is you're able to market more effectively, get your information instantly downloaded onto their phone. And what we also have is you can toggle on a lead capture where someone you hand the card out to scans it, downloads it, fills it out. You've interactively grown your list. You've got a new potential buyer or seller, someone to communicate with that just through a scan, a download, and touch of buttons, you have instant communication happening.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and we have no problem if you love your business card. Keep your business card, right? But do both. Have a way to have your QR code on there, because just like we talked about earlier, if you decide that you need to change what that card goes to, maybe there's something that's updated on your business card that you're like, hey, I got new cards coming, but this in such an, my email changed or my phone number changed or whatever it was. You can change it on the digital card. So they can scan the digital card, save it to their phone, keep that paper card if that's important to them or to you. Go on about your day. That's two things that you then shared with them.
Print marketing. A lot of us do it because that's the way it's always been done. But being able to really take that brochure, flyer, whatever it is, and inform more, make it more interactive, connect with buyers in real time, giving them that information. There's only so much you can put on that paper. Taking it one step further, giving them more. It's huge to be able to maximize your marketing efforts. Your in turn also able to potentially reduce your expense because maybe someone grabs it and scans it and they've got that information and they can just hand this back and say, you know what, we've got it on the phone, we can move on. You're turning static material into an interactive tool that drives action. some some things we see emphasized and happening a lot of times with mailers, just listed, just sold, scan the QR code to get your home priced, figure out what your home is worth. The interaction is increasing immensely. The scanning of the QR codes is notifying you that this marketing is working. I'm getting people to move forward in what we're doing. It's not just a piece of paper anymore. It's that lasting connection that you're able to get someone to take that action on. So we're getting ready to wrap up. Hopefully you see some ideas. We have a ton of collateral available that you can utilize or test. See, A/B test it, see which one's working, which one's not. Maybe if I'm not getting as many scans, or I'm getting scans and no action happening, maybe the destination needs to be changed of that QR code. Become part of our community. So we'll leave this QR code up here for just a second, where we'll give you insights and updates. And there's always new features and functions that are happening with OneQR. We don't want to bore you through a webinar of everything that can be done. It might bore you. It gets us excited in the new things that are happening. Being able to reduce your expenses in some of your other marketing efforts. If there's a large subset of realtors that are looking and saying, hey, I've got to adjust the way or adapt the way that I'm marketing, and it's all got to be digital, we still have to have a way to get to that digital content. So these are a lot of things that we want to be able to provide to you. You can see a lot of it on our social platforms. You can go ahead and scan the QR codes, follow us, like, comment, give us your thoughts. Maybe throw in some of the examples that you've been implementing. The community is vast, it's growing. There's a lot of people that help support in that as well on, hey, have you tried doing this? I'm getting a great result from this. We always will have these types of webinars recorded and available over on our YouTube channel. Now, Kathy, this is, I guess, the first public release of what's being offered from OneQR. Is a 45-day free trial to our Pro subscription, which gives you access to 50 QR codes, dynamic adjustable short links, all the analytics, pretty much all the bells and whistles. And it's absolutely free. There's no obligation for 45 days. After that, it will be a charge of what the subscription price is, but it's essentially saying, here, we're so confident that through implementing OneQR in 45 days, you're going to see the value that's been brought to you, the potential for more listings, the potential for more buyers, and more leads.
Yep. We're very excited about this.
If you have any questions, again, we have a support desk. It's support@oneqr.com. That is the email. And then this is where you're going to find our short videos, our short text on how to do things, on what to adjust over time. We're here to work with you and get the most out of this platform for you. We're confident in knowing that through the implementation of OneQR in your marketing, you will see an uptick. Maybe you didn't sell a home last year. This will help support selling a home this year, or one or two additional. You're able to track the marketing and know what's working for you. So we're going to wrap it up. We appreciate you jumping on with us today. Go out and sell some homes. Implement 1QR. Help it help you. So from Kathy and myself, have a great day. If you received the email for the feedback, please give us feedback on that, what we can adjust, how, if you need more examples and ideas, we're always looking forward to receiving those. So from Kathy and myself, everyone have a great day. Take care.